Susan Austin, amazing team member, is going to tell you how to take your offer instead of waiting for others. You're definitely going to want to watch this one. I'm sitting here with amazing team member, hardworking realtor, Susan Austin, and she hates video, by the way, so we're in for a real treat that she's coming on to deliver some really important advice for all the people watching. So I guess it was 2 weeks ago. She's in a situation, people are interested in the property, and her buyer wanted to buy it. And she got the listing agent and the seller to hold off waiting for other offers, which is unheard of in this market. So why don't you explain?
I'd have to say that had we waited and not acted fast, it would have been a very different outcome considering the state of the market, and buyers are often experiencing multiple offer situations. Just a little bit about my client. She was fully, pre-approved client in that sweet spot in terms of the price range for multiple offer situations. She recently got news that a family member will be coming from overseas to the U.S. to live with her in April. So certainly she was very motivated and, very pressed for time. I've sent her coming soon properties. We were always acting fast. And this particular property happened to be in the school district that she was most interested in. And within 2 hours, we had seen the property. I had anticipated an offer situation, just considering her circumstances. And sure enough, as soon as we saw the property, she said, "Susan, we really want to submit an offer on this. What do we do next?" I committed to my buyer that I would, call the listing agent right away. I knew this agent and I knew how he worked. And so it was important for me to connect with him right away. Asked him if there were any other offers in hand at the time. What's the interest so far? And also, what are the preferred terms and conditions that the seller would prefer, including settlement time? So anything we could do to accommodate the seller and that could work for my buyer as well. So I circled back to my buyer and kept her in that multiple offer mentality. Let's not take this for granted. He mentioned that there were no offers in hand just yet. However, he committed to sharing any offers to the seller as soon as he received it. So I shared that with my buyer, and we drafted up our final, offer price and terms and conditions. So within the hour, we had everything signed, completed, and it was sent to the listing agent. And I tell you, within 20 minutes, I received not only acknowledgement of the offer, but the listing agent had also reviewed it and said it was a strong offer, and he was going to recommend that his seller accept that offer that evening and cancel all of the other showings. So he did mention there was some verbal interest, but within 2 hours we had an executed contract.
So I got a couple takeaways here just to summarize. Leveraging your relationships and being nice to the listing agent, right? Being very professional and just calling them and getting information. That's number one. Secondly, moving really fast. I mean, using everything you can to get in there fast, submit the offer fast. There's something you left out. How strong did your client go in? Did they mess around trying to negotiate, or did they go in with their best shot?
They went with their best shot. Like I said, keep that multiple offer mentality. Let's assume that those buyers are also writing the offers at that time. She's a very analytical buyer and very data driven. And I had given her comps. I had also put together 3 different versions of the estimated closing costs.
Smart.
Making proactive decision with the data that we had. And she was also someone who appreciated the neighborhood reports. So there was a trust factor there. I have to preface that, getting your buyers into the mentality of acting fast takes time. So she went through the buyer's consult with me. Like I said, I sent her regular neighborhood reports. There were some listings that I said, this is not for you. So there's a trust factor there that takes time. But when she was ready, and she was very ready, we got this done in 3 hours.
That's pretty fast. So I love that, because for all the consumers that are watching, or even agents that are watching, this market is not the time to mess around. Sometimes you only get one chance. And it sounds like you had that conversation with her up front. You showed her how the process worked before you got in the situation so you're not scrambling at the last minute. And she took your advice, which is credit to the buyer because the buyer got the house. Not every person's going to do that. So I'm hearing call the listing agent, be ready to go, understand the process, educate your clients.
Know your numbers.
Know your numbers. Give them all the information so they can make a well-informed decision. Anything else people watching should know? Because this is like the dream scenario for a buyer right now or for an agent because no one likes to lose. You don't want to have that conversation with your clients, or your clients don't want to feel that way and lose a property they really like.
Exactly. So, even though we were the first offer in, it was strong enough. It has to be compelling enough for the seller to want to take it off the market. She had, I think it was success for her, just knowing it's a multiple offer situation in most cases. And she is just over the moon that she didn't have to be in that situation and she can focus on her family member coming to the U.S.
Well, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to help people, and that's a big deal. You got a family member coming to the country. That's a huge thing. I've never gone through that. I'd imagine it's, there's a lot of emotions involved. And what you did is you made it easier for the family member to move in here because he or she had a place to move to. And you said something there that I want to hit on again. Keeping the mindset that you're in a multiple offer situation because that's the state of the market. Even though there weren't any in hand yet, had you not done that, I don't know that your client gets this house.
Sure. The seller could have held off.
Yeah, exactly.
Understanding that there was some verbal interest. But no, we got the showings canceled and the other buyers didn't have that opportunity. So it's a win for my seller or my buyer.
Well, huge win, right? So this is how you do it. So if you want to connect with Susan, we're going to put her information up here on the video. All the consumers watching, all the agents watching, take notes, rewind this 2 or 3 times because that is by the book and that's how you win in today's market. You're definitely going to want to watch this one.